"You brood of vipers," John said. "Who warned you of the wrath to come?" Oh, there's nothing like a little rant from John the Baptist to get us into the Christmas mood, is there? Sometimes I wonder why we have readings from John as we're getting ready for Christmas. Can't we leave that until afterwards or closer to Easter or in Lent? Well, that's the church and the church's wisdom. What really interests me, or what really kind of struck me, though, about the gospel reading today about John the Baptist was not John's hyperbole, but rather the question that was asked over and over again. Do you remember what the question was? Asked by the people and the tax collectors and the soldiers. What was the question in the gospel today? What shall we do? What shall we do? What shall we do indeed? People were obviously searching, longing, hoping. That's why they came out to the Jordan. That's why they went out to the wilderness. All sorts of different people, ordinary people, leaders, tax collectors, people on the margins, soldiers, everyone, searching and longing and hoping. Is John the Messiah? Is the new age to begin? Is it here? Is it now? And that question really intrigues me. What should we do? What should we do? And John's answer to that, or answers to that, are remarkably practical. He could have said, well, offer more sacrifices, or go to the temple more regularly, or read your Torah more closely. But he didn't. Clearly, he wasn't a very practical Episcopal rector, because any Episcopal rector, he or she would say, of course you need to go to church more often. Of course you need to read the Bible. Of course you need to pray more diligently. But instead, John gave this very practical advice. What did he say? He said, if you have 2 coats, share one. If you have more food or even just enough, share with those who don't have any. And if you're in a position of authority, like the tax collectors, just do your job and do it with integrity. And if you are a soldier, if you have power, use your power gently. Don't resort to violence. Interesting, isn't it? It's interesting, because he didn't talk about piety. He didn't talk about, sort of churchy religious things. It was all about practical things. Practical things. I sometimes think that I can lose sight of it all. I spend most of my time in church doing churchy things. And sometimes I can sort of get lost in all of that and think, well, churchy things are the most important of all, saying my prayers and making sure, the liturgies are beautiful and reverent, and, the church is kept nicely. Those things are important, but it's what happens outside the doors of this church that are actually more important, isn't it? How we see the world and how we choose to live our lives. That's the real thing, isn't it? And hopefully church, and hopefully what we do here week by week and Sunday by Sunday helps you, helps me, helps all of us to live the lives that we want to live. Not should live. I don't think it's about should. I think really it's about want. Hopefully what we do here helps us to indeed live the kind of lives that we want to live. Generous lives. Lives that are not bound by fear. Lives of integrity. Lives where violence plays no part. And hopefully here together we catch just glimpses of it. Hopefully here we get some kind of encouragement. You're on the right path. Keep going. Don't give up. I know it's hard, but I am with you. Do we have the courage? Do we have the courage? Do I have the courage? Because I think deep down I really know the kind of life that I want to live. And I think deep down you know the kind of life that you want to live. Not bound by fear. But that's hard. Because I think, well, will I have enough? I mean, if I share, will I have enough? I don't know. But maybe I just give and trust that God will take care of tomorrow. And do I have the courage to live a life of integrity? To really stand by what I believe and what I say I believe? Or, sometimes it's more expedient to kind of do the easy thing, to keep everybody happy, to say what people want to hear rather than what is really true. And violence, well, fortunately, the last time I hit somebody was at high school, which is a good thing. And I'm glad that my kids, well, their high school experience is very different than mine. Of course, when I went to high school, we still got caned on the bottom. So that was back in the Stone Age. And so, I was kind of ruminating on the use of violence part and thinking, I think I'm pretty good about that. But actually, then when I really got to think about it, well, how about the words that I use, or the kind of moods or tantrums that I throw? The kind of emotional blackmail that we all use from time to time, or the guilt trips that we lay, especially on members of our family or closest friends. Well, and I wouldn't say it quite like this, but, well, if you really loved me, then you would do what I want, right? Or if you really cared for me, you would just kind of acquiesce to my wishes. That's violence too, isn't it? With a sword. I think you know the kind of life that you truly want to live. I think you do. It's deep within you. I think I know the kind of life that I truly want to live. It's deep within me too. And this Christmas season is all about recalling us to that desire which is God's gift deep in our hearts. Lives, as Ruth was saying, of love. Lives of real generosity. Lives of true integrity. Lives of non-violence. The question is, do I have the courage to live that kind of life? The question is, do you have the courage to live that kind of life? What should we do? What should we do?